Yo, hello YouTube, how we doing? We're doing a different type of video today. I thought I'd do just a kind of run through of my initial thoughts of this season and how Singe has affected those kind of things, because a lot of the time you see all these patch notes, you see a lot of speculation about what's OP, what's not OP. But I think a lot of stuff recently has came out to show that some things are what we expected and some things aren't what we expected. So, first of all, Singe with a new split, I think, is pretty good. My win rate says otherwise. I've literally got like a 40% win rate. But yeah, I think Singe in general feels good. The teleport change obviously is one thing, which affects Singe if you go TP, but also the new item, as well as the minion changes. So, the new item, I mean, this is all my personal opinion. I'm sure some stuff will be different depending on your guys' experience. But the new item, Bloodletter's Curse, if I can find it, it's the item that gives you AP health, and more importantly, it shreds the target's magic resist by 5% for 6 seconds, up to 30%. So it's basically a tank shredding AP item. In my experience and what I've seen from games is, I don't think this is an item you should ever be rushing. First, second, maybe third. It's more of a late game item because champions aren't going to have much AP or much resistance early game. And in general, Leandry's is still going to be your main tank shredding item at the start. The actual stats itself of Bloodletter's Curse, so 60 AP, 350 health for 2.9k. It's less base stats than Rylai's. And Rylai's passive, obviously, is also really good. But I still think in most cases, Rylai's is going to be a better buy to get before Bloodletter's Curse. Because it's so much cheaper, and you don't have to rely on enemies having so much MR for this item to be useful, right? Some other things relevant to Singe players would be the change to Warmogs. So Warmogs now gives no movement speed, but gives a lot more HP. I think late game, this item is going to be insane, but I wouldn't say it's a second rush kind of item. I used to rush Warmogs second because it gave you so much HP and it gave you move speed. I think instead of going Warmogs second now, it's going to be better to go Warmogs third, fourth, or fifth. And the other important item is Unending Despair. This has changed from the old build path, and it's now, well, it's not showing you here, but it's now Aegis plus Kindle Gem, I think. So the build path is nice, and the stats are nice, and the good thing about this item is that it also procs Rylai's. I mean, it always did that, but it also procs Rylai's, and gives you a Conqueror stack, and makes you tanky. So this item is a really nice rush for armor into low range comps. If you're against like a fucking Ashe, Akshan, Jinx, right? This item probably isn't good because you're not going to be in range to proc the Anguish passive. But if you're against a Zed, a Samira, a Set, and they're 3 strong AD champions, this item is going to be really good because you're going to be able to proc that Anguish passive lots of times on those short range champions. I think those are the main item things. Other thing obviously being the boots. I mean, we kind of know about these. For us, Singe players, most of the time we're buying Swifties, and right now I think Swifties have been proven to be the best upgrade. So I would say in terms of boots buying, you're not really changing anything from the way you were last season. You're still going to buy Swifties in most matchups. But yeah, the Swifties upgrade in general is the best one. If you want to go Swifties, if you can go Swifties, I'd go that. The second thing I'll just touch on briefly, I think the minion wave changes actually feel good. I think they feel really good. Singed, the proxying on Singed feels a lot easier. And the cannon wave being moved to the 4th wave, I think really does help. And I think in general, the minion waves dying faster is good, and it gives us more time to roam. And on that topic, I think something that's been covered a lot on Twitter, maybe not in this exact post, but it's a lot of how so many people are seeing their games being a lot more combat based. So there's a lot more fighting early, and there's a lot more higher kill game. Well, yeah, same, come hand in hand, right? There's a lot more higher kill games, in which you don't really get time to scale up. So the rune page I was going last season, if I go back to, sorry, I'm going between tabs here. If I go back here, the rune page I was going all last season was this, which was Phase Rush, Nimbus Cloak, Celerity, this, and I was going like either like Ultimate Hunter to scale up, with scaling HP, or I was going like Conditioning, Overgrowth, and like go full scaling for late game and be tanky. The reason why I'm not enjoying this as much now is because there's so much more fighting early game, and like random objectives early become important. So with the feats of strength, you want to push first turrets, you want to get first blood, and you want to be there for all objectives. If you're going this rune page and you're fighting for objectives at like 9 minutes, you're basically down a full secondary tree, right? Because these won't be scaled, these will have like nothing or hardly even be in effect yet. That's 12 minutes, right? So you're basically down a full secondary tree, and you start ending up being so much less strong at objectives than your laner. That's why I've been opting for things like Biscuits and Cosmic Insight, or even just going for like ward-based secondary things, or even a lot of people right now are really preferring just going full AP singed top lane, because getting that first blood and getting that strong advantage for objectives is really, really good. So a lot of people are going Conqueror as usual, or going Airy, which we know is really good in early game. Now in terms of feats of strength, I've heard a load of people just yapping a load of shite about what's broken and what's not, but in reality, people yapping in solo queue is rarely right. They're fucking coping, they're complaining about shit which they've lost to, but it's not actually broken, right? But we've got this post from Riot Fruction, or Froction, whatever you say, however you say his name, to actually show you the stats on what's broken, right? So the stats on the left-hand side of these first few columns are last season, on the right-hand side is this season. So, last season, the first blood win rate was actually higher than this season, which you'd struggle to believe, right, because it's now got more importance. And most importantly, again, the first turret win rate is hardly changed. So these are stats which people are now, in solo queue in my games, getting so tilted over. If you lose first blood, your team just fucking spams FF and gets fucking tilted straight away, right? But in reality, these aren't changing a whole lot. Then again, the next thing is very important. Feats of strength have a 74% win rate. When you get 2 of those 3 objectives, your win rate is 74% on average, which is insanely high, right? Insanely high. But what do we make of this? Because the win rate for feats of strength is 74%, but does that mean feats of strength is broken? Or does that just mean those teams are already ahead, so they've got feats of strength anyway? You know what I mean? It's the same way you can't judge the Medjai's win rate. Medjai's as an item is only purchased when you are ahead. So if you judge Medjai's win rate, or Medjai's brokenness by its win rate, it's going to be absurdly high, because champions only buy it when they're already winning, right? Atakan win rate, again, teams will be winning, they'll get Atakan, and they'll win the game faster. So these win rates, although they're very high, I think it's hard to interpret how broken they are based off of just that alone. And to follow on in that thought, what Riot Froction is saying down below is this here. The tier 3 feet boots are either on the borderline not worth the 750 gold cost, and we won't be nerfing them. So he's actually saying he thinks they're underpowered. They're actually not as strong as everyone in the solo queue is making them out to be. And although you can notice the boot upgrades in your games, you can see you're buying these tier 3 boots, they feel really good. What we're seeing here is that you're actually getting less value from what you would be buying something else for the same gold. But yeah, and I think a lot of what I've seen in early season is just the fact, is what he's saying here. Because you can see your objectives getting taken one by one, and you can see your feats getting taken or stolen, or you can see yourself getting them, people's mentals are absolutely in tatters. And it's the visibility of these feats which is making people play so much different, right? Because in reality, you would lose first blood, you lose first turret in the old season, and you would just say, okay, let's focus published into this, but now you get a big thing saying you have just lost 3 fucking objectives, you've just lost this, and you are now losing. And it's, in my experience, making people's fucking mentals shatter. But as we can see from the stats, it makes very little difference in terms of win rates from your first blood and your first turret. And I think if you're winning, you're getting these objectives and you're winning anyway. So yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys think. Do you think feats are broken or not? I think they're good. I don't think they're broken, and I think they're a really fun thing to add to the game. Mainly because we're now fighting over random objectives, which we didn't fight over before, and it's making the game a lot more random. For example, a random second dragon could be the third objective you need for feats of strength. So this second dragon, which in previous seasons would have had much less importance, is now quite an important objective, and it makes these random objectives more fun, and it makes new points of interest in the game. So yeah, I mean, that was, look, this is just me yapping, a quick initial thoughts of what I'm thinking about this season. And yeah, I realise what I've said is that I don't think feats of strength make a huge difference to win rate and everything like that, but then I'm saying to go for more early runes, so I'm kind of contradicting myself a little bit. So yeah, to be honest, I'm still working out what's good. Still working out what's the best way to play. And yeah, I'll be uploading some more gameplay from this season soon, so I appreciate you guys, as always. Peace!